Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, gave her father 41.
We are in Fall River, Massachusetts to spend the night at the famed Lizzie Borden House.
And you know what? We're here to conduct a paranormal investigation. What an incredible opportunity for Black Raven Paranormal. Let the fun begin.
The Lizzie Borden House is notorious for being the home of Lizzie Borden and her family, and it is the location of the 1892 unsolved double murder of Lizzie's father and stepmother, Andrew and Abby Borden. It is located on 232nd Street in the city of Fall River, Massachusetts. It is one of the greatest unsolved murder cases in our nation's history. Let's cover some of the basic history. Lizzie Borden is best known for her arrest and trial for the 1892 axe murders of her father and stepmother. She was acquitted in 1893. Although she was acquitted, no other person was accused, and she remains infamous for their murders. The murders occurred on August 4, 1892, in Fall River, Massachusetts. Her father's body was discovered on the couch in the living room, and her stepmother's body was found in the upstairs bedroom. Lizzie claimed to have discovered the body of her father about 30 minutes after he came home from his morning errands. Shortly after, the maid, Bridget Sullivan, found the body of Lizzie's stepmother. Both victims were killed by crushing blows to the head by a hatchet. It was said that Lizzie did not get along well with her stepmother and that they had a falling out years before the murder occurred. Lizzie and her sister Emma Borden were also known to have conflicts with their father. According to the forensic investigation, Abby was facing her killer at the time of the attack. She was first struck on the side of the head with a hatchet, which cut her just above the ear, causing her to turn and fall face down on the floor, creating contusions on her nose and forehead. Her killer then struck her multiple times, delivering 17 more direct hits to the back of her head, killing her. Andrew, who had been out early that morning, returned home around 10:30 a.m. Shortly after, he would lay down to take a nap on a couch in the downstairs sitting room. Lizzie would discover her father slumped on the couch around 11:10 a.m. He had been struck 10 or 11 times with a hatchet-like weapon. One of his eyes had been split cleanly in two, suggesting that he had been asleep when attacked. Lizzie was arrested and tried for both murders in June 1893, but was acquitted, given the circumstantial evidence. The actual skulls of Andrew and Abby Borden were brought into the courtroom and used to show that the suspected murder weapon fit the injuries. On the basis of circumstantial evidence, prosecutors accused Lizzie Borden of murdering her father and stepmother. In an attempt to circumvent its lack of direct evidence, the prosecution appealed to popular stereotypes about the slyness and cleverness of women. Lizzie nonetheless was acquitted. The acquittal was significant in that it represented the triumph of the rule of law over common prejudice. Lizzie Borden was found innocent for the murders of her father and stepmother. Despite the gruesome nature of the killings, the jury believed that a woman could not be capable of such extreme violence. The 1893 murder trial of Lizzie Borden was a media sensation, dubbed the trial of the century by reporters who covered the lurid details of the brutal deaths of her father and stepmother, Andrew and Abby. The murders inspired a famous nursery rhyme, which continued to haunt Lizzie long after her acquittal, as she struggled to make a life for herself in a world in which many remained convinced of her guilt.
With such a dark history associated with the Borden house, is it any wonder that it may be haunted? Why, yes, it is haunted, quite haunted. Routine occurrences such as flickering lights in many rooms, light switches that switch on and off, doors that open and close on their own accord are very common throughout the house. Shadow people have been witnessed frequently on the staircase, down the main hallway, and entering rooms only to disappear. Disembodied voices are heard in many of the bedrooms. Guests and staff have on occasion felt the presence of someone brush up against them as if passing by.
Andrew Borden's presence is strongly felt throughout the house, on occasion angry and exhibits the behavior of that of a bully. Yet oftentimes he will seem pleased that paranormal groups investigate the home and try to shed light on who actually committed his murder. He can be willing and has been recorded speaking with guests, staff, and investigators. Abby Borden is believed to haunt the John Morse room, the room where she was murdered. Her cries can be heard coming from the room. It is believed she likes to nap on the bed in the Morse room, where an indentation on the bed has been witnessed a few times. A gray-haired woman has been seen throughout the house that most folks believe to be Abby. An apparition that resembles Lizzie has been witnessed in the basement a few times. A disembodied cat's meow has been heard on the second and third floors. 2 young children have been seen by guests in various parts of the house. These children have also been heard and recorded playing marbles using an audio recorder. Cold spots are commonplace through the house on all floors. So yes, the data, as well as so many personal experiences by guests, staff, and investigators alike, would seem to validate the Lizzie Borden house is indeed haunted. This room was Andrew and Abby Borden's bedroom, and what was back in the 1890s, Abby Borden's sewing room. The sewing room is now a bedroom in this suite. There have been sightings of Abby in this room and area. Cold spots are felt frequently in this area of the house. This is a 2-room suite on the 2nd floor that includes Lizzie and Emma Borden's rooms. While Lizzie and Emma resided in the house, these were the rooms they stayed in. Welcome to the John Morse Suite. This is the room where Abby Borden was found murdered the morning of August 4th, 1892. John Morse, Lizzie, and Emma Borden's uncle had slept here the night before. Abby Borden was making up the bedroom after John Morse's overnight stay when she was brutally murdered. Abby is known to be very active in this room. It is believed she likes to nap on the bed here, and indentations of such have been witnessed on several occasions. Sightings of a gray-haired woman, believed to be Abby Borden, have been reported from this room. Shadow people and figures are witnessed in this area, as well as 2 young children. The sound of these children playing marbles is frequent. Disembodied voices are common in this area. Many photographs of Lizzie populate this room. For the most part, this room has a comfortable feel to it. At least that was our observation. We make our way to the area where the famed sofa is, a replica of the original but has paranormal attachments to it. It is here where we capture a very interesting audio clip using a device known as the Spirit Box. Please listen closely.
Andrew, is this your sofa? It's a comfortable sofa. Does it belong to you?
Now, just the response to the question, Listen closely. And now looped 3 times to process. From the sofa, we make our way into the dining room. Breakfast is served in here daily, the same meal the Bordens had the day of their murders. This room contains recreations and some artifacts from the past. We would have to say the investigation and a visit to the Lizzie Borden house has been an incredible paranormal adventure, a must-do.